Okay, who would like to volunteer reading this?
Shall I read, sir?
Yeah,
Okay. Om Agnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chaksur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Mantra prayer to A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaye Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami. You're kindly preaching the messages of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries which are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Panchatattva Mantra. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. I offer my obeisances to Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhara, Shri Vasa, and all others in the line of devotion. Maha Mantra. Maha means great, and mantra means sacred chant for deliverance. Of all mantras in the Vedas, one is called as Maha Mantra or Great Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The words Hare, pronounced Hare, Krishna, pronounced Krishna, and Rama rhymes with Rama, are Sanskrit words. Hare is an address to God's energy known as Radha, and Krishna is name of God, meaning he who is attractive to everyone. Rama means one who gives pleasure and enjoys life. When chanted, the Maha Mantra is a petition to God. O Krishna, O energy of Krishna, please engage me in your service. Thank you.
Okay, Rama also means Krishna because Krishna is the one that gives pleasure and enjoys love, life. Sometimes people say it's Balaram, but it's actually more Krishna. Because Hare is Radharani is always with Krishna. Hare Krishna, the most beautiful, and Hare Rama, the one that enjoys pleasure. So this is the idea. Okay. So now we proceed with the class. Okay, we are doing chapter 18, level 2, part 2. The part 2 has a lot of instructions from Krishna. It's the final instructions, and you should take it by heart and try and remember a lot of nice verses in this. It's the conclusion, final conclusion. So try and see what you can get from that and how to follow it nicely. So we pay respects to Sri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maiki. We chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We also pay respect to Gaur Nitai. We get their blessings. We also take the blessings from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Through the Guru, you will understand Krishna and he will bring you to Krishna. Okay, who would like to read this?
Okay, I will read, Prabhuji. We work not with our body, actually, but with our mind and intelligence. So if the intelligence and the mind are always engaged in the thought of the Supreme Lord, then naturally the senses are also engaged in his service. Superficially, at least, the activities of the senses remain the same, but the consciousness is changed. The Bhagavad Gita teaches one how to absorb the mind and intelligence in the thought of the Lord. Such absorption will enable one to transfer himself to the kingdom of the Lord. If the mind is engaged in Krishna's service, then the senses are automatically engaged in his service. This is the art, and this is also the secret of Bhagavad Gita, total absorption in the thought of Sri Krishna.
So we work not with our body, but with our mind and intelligence. So if mind and intelligence weak, the person can control the mind and the intelligence and engage them in Krishna's service, then your senses automatically engage in their senses. You will want to restrain the senses from doing materialistic things, and you will activate the senses to enjoying spiritual things like prasadam, chanting, singing for the Lord, associating with devotees, finding pleasure in the association of devotees. So all this actually how you can control your mind and your intelligence. So it's like we always think of ourselves, what we want, what we should do. So we should also think of Krishna in the same way, what Krishna wants, what he wants us to do, what is he doing. So we always thinking of ourselves because we are always naturally what we want is very important to us. So we should also think what Krishna wants, because what Krishna wants from us is actually what is beneficial for us, is what we really should want and what really we want. Okay. The conclusion, the perfection of renunciation, part 2. Purification through prescribed duties of one ashram. Okay, so we take the Bhagavad Gita, and we finished is 39, if I'm not wrong. Is it correct?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So today we start with 40. So someone can read 40, 41, and 42, and 43, and 44. Who would like to do that?
I read, Prabhuji.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, text 40. There is no being existing either here or among the demigods in the higher planetary systems which is free from these three modes born of material nature. Text 41. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaisyas, and Sudras are distinguished by the qualities born of their own natures in accordance with the material modes. O chastiser of the enemy. Text 43. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas.
42.
42? Oh, sorry, sir. Text 42. Peacefulness, self-control, austerity, purity, tolerance, honesty, knowledge, wisdom, and religiousness. These are the natural qualities by which the Brahmanas work. Text 43. Heroism, power, determination, resourcefulness, courage in battle, generosity, and leadership are the natural qualities of work for the Kshatriyas. 44 also, right?
Yes.
Okay. Text 44. Farming, Cow protection and business are the natural work for the Vyasyas. And for the Sutras, they are labor and service to others.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
We go to 40. There are no being existing either here or among devas in the higher planetary systems which are freed from the three modes of material nature. If we are in the material nature, we will definitely have one of the modes of nature. We have in the mode of goodness, passion, or ignorance. Also, Krishna is now going towards the work, the work that we're doing. There are people who are very Brahminical, the Brahmanas, you know, even though you are born not a Brahmana, but you are very devotional and want to do puja and all that. So you are actually a Brahmana in heart. But if you are trained, then you can become a Brahmana also. There are some people born in the Brahminical family, but they are not interested in the Brahminical work. They want to do business. So they cannot call them Brahmanas at all. We should call them Vaishyas. And then there are some people who are maybe born in the Brahmana, but they like to do politics and all that. So they are actually in the Kshatriya family. And there are some people who say, I don't want to be the Brahmana. I don't want to be in the politics, and I don't want to do business. All I want to do is work for somebody. At the end of the month, I want my pay. Whether the Vaishyas, the business person, the farmer, he makes money or not, that is his problem. My thing is I need my money. So I don't want to do business. I just want to work for people. So basically, everyone has a different attitude. There are some people who want to do business, they don't want to work for others. And they don't mind taking risks. So basically, all these type of people, they are not born into it. What you are, you become. You can be a Shudra, and later on you might say, no, I don't want to work for people anymore. I want to do business. Then he becomes a Vaishya, example. And then later on in his life, he say, I'm tired of all this business. I want to give everything up. I want to become a priest. So then he gives this up and he becomes a Brahmana. He learns Brahminical things. So in one life also, you can have many, depend on your mood. In the beginning, maybe you're working for people. Later, you want to do business, example. And then later, you want to be a Brahmana, example. So in that way, some people are doing business, then they give up. They say, it's too hard. I just work for somebody. So then they go down, they go towards becoming Sudras. So it doesn't matter whether you are Sudra, Vaishya, Kshatriya, or Brahmana. All are important in the society. Without Sudras, the other three people cannot work. And the Brahmanas need the other three. They need Kshatriyas for protection. And then they need Vaishyas to give them charity. And they also have this, maybe Sudras also to do some service or something. Anyway, whatever it is, Krishna is saying that actually this caste system is totally upside down. It's only Krishna is speaking that you are born, your attitude. So he is talking about Arjuna. Arjuna, you are a warrior and you really have this mood to be a Kshatriya. And then you say you want to give up fighting and become a Brahmana, it will not work. See? And then Krishna is speaking about the qualities, natural qualities. Brahmanas, normally they are very peaceful. They are self-control. The priest in the temple, you expect him to be peaceful, self-control, very austere, very pure, very tolerant, very honest, very knowledgeable, and very religious, right? When you go temple, you see the priest, you expect these qualities from him, right? Then from the Kshatriya, you expect a very heroic, very determined, and very clever, courage, generous. A Kshatriya should be generous because he should look after the people, give the money to the poor, to the help the society people to actually do economic uh, activities. So that when they do economic activities, they can give taxes. So Kshatriyas have all this, their leadership. Vaishyas, they are more into business and farming. And Shudras, they just want to work for somebody and get the income because sometimes they don't have the knowledge of doing the other, so their inclination is not there also. So all this Krishna is saying that there are different types of people, and let's proceed. Someone can do 45, 46, 47.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Text 45. By following his qualities of work, every man can become perfect. Now please hear from me how this can be done. Text 46. By worship of the Lord, who is the source of all beings and who is all pervading, a man can attain perfection through performing his own work. Text 47. It is better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reactions.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So basically what Krishna is saying, that if you follow your work, you can become perfect. Your capabilities and your aptitude. Even though you may not become a very good Brahmana, but if you have these Brahmanical qualities and you like this thing, you should do that. So basically, Krishna is saying that you can become perfect by doing your duty and not thinking of the results, and be a good Brahmana. If you are Brahmana, be a good Brahmana. If you are Kshatriya, be a good Kshatriya. If you are Vaishya, be a good Vaishya. If you are Sudra, be a good Sudra. Don't be dishonest. Don't do it nicely, and do it as a service to society and to what Krishna wants you to do. As a Brahmana, you should do properly. Sometimes as a father, you should do properly. As a wife, must do properly what she's supposed to do. So then Krishna says that it's better to engage in one's own occupation, even though one may perform it imperfectly, than to accept another occupation and perform it perfectly. Duties prescribed according to one's nature are never affected by sinful reaction. So Arjuna, you should, even though you may not be perfect in your as a Kshatriya, but still you are in your nature you are Kshatriya. So even though you are doing it, maybe, of course, Arjuna is a perfect warrior, but Krishna is saying even if a person he cannot do it properly, but he has the inclination, so it is okay. That is no, you won't get sinful reaction even if you are not doing it very well, but at least you're doing to the best of your ability. Okay, then someone can read this.
Prabhuji, read 1848, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please sing,
This slide only, right?
Yeah.
Okay. sahajam karma kauteya sa dosam api na tyachet sarvaramba ni hi dosena tu menaknir ivatra. Every endeavor is covered by some fault, just as fire is covered by smoke. Therefore, one should not give up the work born of his nature. O son of Kunti, even if such work is full of fault. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. So the fire is there. It definitely has smoke. So there is some fault in the fire. It has a smoke. So the same way, sometimes we have work, but there is some fault in the work we do, some mistake in the work we do. We just learn from the mistake and try and do it better. So you should do your work and don't give up your work. You are a Kshatriya, you do your Kshatriya and don't give up. If you are a businessman, even though you may have some problems, you don't give up, you carry on and finally perfect it. So there is always fault in whatever work there is. Nothing is perfect because this material world is imperfect. So Arjuna, please do your duty. Don't give up your duty. So all of us also, even though whatever we do, we don't give up our duty and we perform. Sometimes you may be a parent, but you are not a very good parent, but at least you're doing your best of your ability. So in this way, you may not be a perfect parent, but you're doing to the best of your ability. So we should never criticize people also. Oh, he's such a bad parent and all that. If they are doing their best. Okay, so every work has some fault. It's not perfect. When we go to the spiritual world, then we get perfect. We do our work perfectly. So anyway, Krishna is very kind. He's saying, everything has fault. I can forgive, I can overlook your fault, but carry on doing it. Don't give up. 49, 50, 50. Wait a minute, huh?
Prabhuji, I read
Yeah, okay.
4950, yeah? Okay. 1849. One who is self-controlled and unattached and who disregards all material enjoyments can obtain by practice of a renunciation the highest perfect stage of freedom from reaction. 18.50 O son of Kunti, learn from me how one who has achieved this perfection can attain to the supreme perfection stage. Brahman, the stage of our highest knowledge, by acting in the way I should now summarize.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you. Prabhuji.
So if you are self-controlled and unattached and you disregard material enjoyment because it's binding and it won't give you any benefit. All it makes for you is to make you more and more, want more and more. So that is actually becoming an obsession. So that is why self-control is important and not be attached to material things are important. So you can actually get this detachment by practice of renunciation. That means don't do those things because they are not good for you. Like don't smoke because smoking is bad. Don't drink because drinking is bad. Example. So don't do those actions which are bad because it's bad for you. You're only killing yourself. So if you can do this, you get freedom from reaction. You will not get sinful reaction. Because you are doing everything in a perfectly, you will not get any karmic action. You get akarma action. And then 50, O son of Kunti, learn from me now. Krishna said, I'm going to teach you how one who has achieved this perfection can attain the supreme perfection stage, Brahman. Brahman means get enlightenment, come to the level of the spiritual person. The stage of highest knowledge. By acting this way, I shall now summarize. So Krishna said, now I'm going to speak to you how you can become a very spiritual person detached from material things. Okay, who hasn't read? Can you read 51 to 53? It's in the board. Anyone?
Okay, I shall read, Prabhuji. Text 51.
51 to 53.
Yeah.
The board.
Okay, being purified by his intelligence and controlling the mind with determination, giving up the objects of sense gratification, being freed from attachment and hatred, one who lives in a secluded place, who eats little, who controls his body, mind, and power of speech, who is always in trance, and who is detached, free from false ego, false strength, false pride, lust, anger, and acceptance of material things, free from false proprietorship, and peaceful, such a person is certainly elevated to the position of self-realization.
So Krishna is saying, I will tell you, and he is telling how you get your intelligence purified and you control your mind and be determined and don't do anything that is not good for you and don't do anything that makes you so want it so much or hate it so much. And you live in a secluded place, meaning in a quiet place. It doesn't mean you live by yourself. Okay? Secluded means not so noisy. And then you eat little. Eat little meaning you eat only what you need. Don't overeat. Okay? That's what it means by eat little. It's not that you eat so little you become skinny. You eat enough so you can so that if you overeat, you cannot control your body, mind, and power of speech. But you eat just correctly, you can actually control your senses. Who is always in trance? Trance means always thinking of me. Who is detached? Who is detached? That means not attached to material things and attached to spiritual things. Free from false ego, meaning don't think that I am everything. Think that actually we are the servant of Krishna. And you think that you are very strong, but actually the strength all comes from the Supreme Lord. False pride. You get very proud that you are doing this and that. So it's all the mercy of Krishna. And then you have lust, anger. Remember the three gateways to hell? Lust, anger, and greed. So this is lust, anger, and acceptance of material thing, greed. These three are the three gateways to hell. These all three give up. Free from false proprietorship. Don't think that everything belongs to you. Nothing belongs to you. You have to give up everything. Okay? And peaceful. That means you are not angry and agitated. You're peaceful. It's certainly elevated to the position of self-realization. So try and be like this. Jayasri, you can read this.
Okay, sir. Brahma bhuta prasannatma na sochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labhate param. One who is thus one who is thus transcendently situated at one realizes the supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed towards every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Thank you.
They can read 55.
55 from the book. Okay, sir. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of me by devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God.
Thank you. So Krishna has already spoken to Arjuna from chapter 1 up to chapter 17 and the first part of chapter 18. Now the second part of chapter 18 that we are going to. Krishna is preparing us to go back to the spiritual world. He is getting us very qualified to go back to the spiritual world, giving us the highest information. So as you can see, all these verses that we are reading, all are very, very, very important, because he says give up all these material attachments and now concentrate on purifying yourself and go back to the spiritual world. So if you are transcendentally situated, you will understand that you are spirit soul, and you understand that Lord is the supreme Lord, and you will become very happy because you know you're under the care of the Lord, and that you are not the body, and that you are spirit soul, and you'll never die. He never laments and desires to have everything. Whatever he gets, he's happy, and he makes full use, and he says, thank Krishna for everything you have given. Whatever you've given me is good. And he is equally disposed to all living. He doesn't hate any people or any animals. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Because you are so peaceful, you are so calm, and so lovable, Krishna also loves you so much. This type of person is actually very pleasant. And when you meet a person like that, you are actually very happy to be with the person. So Krishna also says that like this. And then in 55, he says, only by devotional service you can understand. And if you are so devoted to me and you're doing everything, all your duties in as a devotional service to me, you can go back to the spiritual. So nice, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. Okay. So who would like to read this from Chaitanya Charamita? Any volunteer?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya, 19151. Brahmanda Brahmita Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Paya Bhakta Lata Bija. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. By the mercy of both Krishna and the spiritual master, such a person receives the seat of the creeper of devotional service.
Yeah. So you many millions of wandering creatures. Animals definitely cannot understand God. Among human beings also so many people. But if you are fortunate, you have done some good karma last life and or this life, and there's some mercy to you, you will actually and you have a desire, you will actually, Krishna in your heart will give you a spiritual master. And the spiritual master will guide you to become a perfect spiritual person. How to get Krishna love and devotion. So basically, if you have a nice desire and you have done some nice pious activity, Krishna will give you a spiritual mark. Okay, so this one we have read already. So you can only enter a kingdom of God. And here we have this one, I think, a powerful diplomat. Sometimes people desire to become a powerful diplomat, and then after that, because they want to do something great for the nation, you know. Then after that, if you are on a higher form, then you will try to become a social reformer, try and do something good for people. But if you become higher form, you are looking for the impersonal Brahman, Supreme Lord, impersonal form. But if you go higher, you will look for the Supreme Lord who is a person. And if you will reach the one of the Das avatars and many avatars of Vishnu. But if you go higher, you will get Vishnu. So the highest truth is Supreme Lord Krishna, and the highest service is to Supreme Lord Krishna, and the highest place to go back is to go back to the Goloka Vrindavan, the place where Krishna resides. Okay, who would like to read this from the Srimad Bhagavatam? Any volunteer? I can guide you if you need for the Sanskrit.
Okay, I can try, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Ite chamsa kala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrani Vyakulam Lokam.
You try and follow. I know the singing, but try and follow the stanza. Like you see, Eti chamsa kala pumsa.
Yete kamsa kala pumsa Krishnastu Bhagavat
Swayam
Swayam
Indra
Indra
Vaikulam Lokam. Repeat.
Indrari Vyakulam Lokam
Vedayanti Yuge Yuge.
Radayanti Yuge Yuge. All of the above mentioned incarnations are either plenary portions or portions of the plenary portions of the Lord. But Lord Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All of them appear on planets whenever there is a disturbance created by the atheists. The Lord incarnates to protect the theists.
These are people who are. These are people who believe in God. Atheists are people who don't believe in God. Okay, so the atheists normally, like the China, communist countries, they make a lot of problems for the spiritual people. But of course, we have also some. If you are really spiritual, you will not disturb also the other people who are not following the spiritual path, because after a while, hopefully they'll get some mercy from Krishna. Not that you kill anybody who don't believe in God. You know, that's also another form of stupidity. So Krishna is the Supreme Lord. From him comes the expansions like Vishnu, and from Vishnu comes the expansions. And so he sometimes comes himself as Krishna, but many times he comes as an incarnation. Okay? How to understand Krishna in truth? If you really like Krishna is like the honey, you have it in a bottle. You want to taste the honey, you have to open the bottle. So in the same way, if you want to understand Krishna, you have to take the life of devotion. You have to do devotional service to understand. And with the the guidance of spiritual master, then you can taste the sweetness of the spiritual life. Otherwise, you will be stuck in your old frame of mind. Like the honey, you say is sweet, but you cannot really taste it unless you do devotion. So then we come to 50, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60. Who would like to read? Who's that? Who would like to read?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yeah. 56,
Okay.
60.
61 to 63, right, Prabhu?
56 to 60. Not this.
Uh,
From Bhagavad Gita, 56 to 60.
Okay, 56. Okay. True engaged in all kind of activities, my pure devotees under my protection reaches the eternal imperishable abode of my grace. 56. 57. In all activities just dependent upon me and work always under my protection. In such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Next one also.
Yeah. Until
If
59. Until 60.
Okay. If you become conscious of me, you will pass over all the obstacles of conditioned life by my grace. If, however, you do not work in such consciousness but act through false ego, not hearing me, you will be lost. 59. If you do not act according to my direction and do not fight, then you will be falsely directed. By your nature, you will have to be engaged in warfare. 60. Under illusion, you are now declining to act according to my direction, but compelled by the work born of your own nature, you will act all the same, O son of Kunti.
So now Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. He's also telling that engage in all, though engage in all kinds of activities, you are doing all your work and all that, but my pure devotee is always thinking of me, even though he's doing other work. And he comes to my future abode. In 57, he says that you just depend upon me and work under my protection. That means you depend on me, and whatever you want is something like, if you're not sure whether to do the work or not, the job or not, say, will Krishna want me to do? If the answer is yes, you do. If the answer is no, don't do. If the answer is doesn't matter, don't know, then you just do. No problem. So basically, if Krishna says if you're not sure whether to do or not, think whether Krishna wants me to do it. That's how to come to that level. And then 58, if you always think of me and be under my condition, by my grace, you will always be protected by me. But if you, by false ego, thinking that you are the doer, you will become lost. So basically, Krishna says, just depend on me and work in my direction and just carry on. You will not lose anything. Okay? And then 59, if you do not do according to my direction, whatever I want you to do, you don't do, you will be lost. And you will have this fighting spirit. You will, somehow or another, you will still have this desire to do, and you will do it. So what's the point? So if you, under illusion, you don't want to do as what I'm asking you, but somehow or another, because you are a Kshatriya, you will definitely be fighting. So better fight. Fight under my direction. I'm telling you to fight this war. Don't go and fight something else. Okay? Okay, who would like to read 61 to 63?
60. Can I read, Prabhu?
Yeah, but can I, how are you going to sing?
Ishvara sarva bhutanam hideshwarjuna tishtati brahmana sarva bhutani yantradani mayaya. Should I read the translation or?
All the Sanskrit first.
Okay. Tam eva shannam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat paramam shantim shasvatam ayapsi shashvatam iti te jnanam akyantam guhyad guhya taram maya vim vimashyatat ashena yach dashasi tatha kuru. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. O Shion of Bharata, surrender unto him utterly. By his grace you will attain transcendental peace and the supreme and eternal abode. Thus I have explained to you knowledge still more confidential, deliberate on the fully and deliberate on this fully, and then do what you wish to do. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu Ji.
So the Supreme Lord is in your heart. He is actually your conscience. He is also guiding you. You listening or not to listening to him, that is your problem. If you listen to him, it's good for you. If you don't listen to him, you do your own thing. What can the Lord do? He just sits and waits and sees what you're doing. And you also have to get a reaction. So that is why you should surrender unto Krishna utterly, because by his grace you can get the peace and you can get the supreme and eternal abode. And now Krishna is saying, I've told you everything. Now you think about it and do as you wish. I will not force you to do what I say. I have given you all these instructions. Now it's up to you. Whether you take up spiritual life or don't take up, is up to you. Whether you take up fully what I say or take up partially is up to you. You take up fully, you get full benefit. You take up partially, you get partial benefit. You don't take up, you get no benefit. So basically, Krishna is speaking to you, not say you can do, what you wish to do. You can do, you have the freedom, but you have to get the reaction. I'm telling you to do certain way, and if you don't follow and you suffer and you have pain, I cannot say anything because you don't follow. Okay, who would like to read this?
Hare Krishna. Sarva gunyatamam bhuyaha shruno me paramam vachaha istosi me dharmam iti tato vakshyami istosi me dharmam iti tato vakshyami te hitam. Because you are my very dear friend, I am speaking to you my supreme instruction, the most confidential knowledge of all. Hear this from me, for it is for your benefit. Thank you.
Krishna is saying, I've given you Bhagavad Gita, all of you. So you are my very dear friend. That's why I'm giving. So this is the supreme instruction, and it's very confidential knowledge because many people don't understand it or can never come across it. So here from me is for your benefit. Okay, who would like to read this?
60. Sir, Prabhuji, can I read?
Yeah.
Manmana bhavmakto madhyasi. Manmana bhavmakto madhyasi mam namaskaru. Mam yasi mam namaskaru. Mam
satyam te
Mam evyasi satyam te.
prati jane priyosime.
Preti jane priyosi me. Always think of me because become my devotee. Worship me and offer your homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Krishna. This is a very important verse. Krishna is promising you. You become my devotee, you will come to me without fail. I promise you. He's promising. God is promising us. What else do you want? He's being very, very direct and he's promising you. Krishna never breaks his promise to a devotee. So remember this, and please, this is a very important verse 65. This is actually 66, but they put 65. Wrongly put, eh? Okay, who would like to read this, Kavita?
Yusha Prabhu, 1865. Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo moksha yisyami ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear.
Another promise, Krishna. These two verses can, if any of you can, please try and memorize. Memorize the Sanskrit and memorize the English. These two are very, very important verses. Krishna is saying you forget all types of religion. The religion that promises you this, do that, this, all, forget all the religion. Just you surrender unto me. You come to Varnashrama Dharma, the eternal religion. All other religions are materialistic religion, materialistically motivated and imperfect religions. And you just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Krishna says that because you have full surrender, whatever sins you have done, I will all deliver you from those reactions. Please do not fear. I will make you pure to be able to come back to the spiritual world. Okay. Avita, can you read the purport?
Sure. That's all, Prabhu. Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam raksisyatiti viswaso goptar vevaranam tata atmaniksepa karpanya satvida saranagatihi. In the surrendering process, one should 1. Accept things favorable for discharging devotional service. 2. Reject things unfavorable. 3. Always believe firmly in the Lord's protection. 4. feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. 5. Have no interest separate from the interest of the Lord. And 6. Always feel oneself meek and humble.
So if you want to do this 65 and 66, you want to be like this, the Rupa has given in the purport that you should accept things which are favorable for devotional service and reject things which are unfavorable. Always believe that Krishna will protect you and feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Totally, you don't go and find other people who are Babajis or tantrics and all that and try and get the mercy, help from them. You must always understand finally is Krishna. Have no separate interest from the interest of the Lord. That means whatever Krishna wants, however Krishna wants you to do, follow. And always feel meek and humble. You must always be humble and meek, gentle. Okay? Krishna likes people who are gentle. So 66, 67, 68, 69. Okay, 67, 68, 69. Someone can read. Who would like to volunteer?
Read Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Text 67. This confidential knowledge may never be explained to those who are not austere or devoted or engaged in devotional service, nor to one who is envious of me. 68. For one who explains this supreme secret to the devotees, pure devotional service is guaranteed, and at the end, he will come back to me. 69, text 69. There's no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear.
Okay, can you read this last part here also? On the bottom. One who has taken his place.
Which one, Prabhuji?
Can you see the screen, the last part?
Text 70, yeah.
It's not 70. It's actually from Adi Lila Chaitanya Charita in the book.
Read the one on the screen.
Yeah, one who has taken his birth.
Okay. One who has taken his birth as a human being in the land of India, Bharatavarsa, should make his life successful and work for the benefit of all other people.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Now, Krishna is giving us the hint about how to do preaching. You are ready. Now he wants you to preach to other people to understand, to get them to read Bhagavad Gita, to start spiritual life. He says in 68, 67, confidential knowledge, you never explain it to people who are not austere. That means, there was one man, he is a devotee. He used to go to nightclubs and sell books, Bhagavad Gita and all. So what he used to do, he used to go at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, because the nightclubs start 9 o'clock. And he'll be there up to 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, talking to them and trying to make them spiritual. And then he comes back and he sleeps. Then he cannot wake up for Mangala Aarti because he sleeps so late. After a while, he realized that what he's doing is wrong. He told me, I do all this, I'm thinking of helping people, but in the end, I'm destroying myself. So basically, people who are going to the bars, they are not really very interested in spiritual life. So you may talk to them, they may be tipsy and they may buy the book from you. But it's very difficult for them to actually come, because they are in a mode of passion and ignorance, to come to spiritual life. They haven't come to goodness. So Krishna says you don't have to waste your time to to people who are not austere, that means who don't want to understand spiritual life. They are not devoted type of people, and they don't want to do any devotional service, nor, and those who don't like me. There are people who don't like Krishna also. Who cares for Krishna? Something. So if people are like that, Krishna said, don't preach to them. Because you preach to them, you force it to them. In the end, instead of being like they don't care about Krishna, they start hating Krishna. So Krishna don't want them to hate, which is bad for them. You understand? Instead of helping them, you are actually making it bad for them. Right? So then in 68, Krishna says, supreme secret to the devotees. Devotees doesn't mean already you know spiritual life, but people who are very well mannered. You know all the qualities that Krishna is speaking about. A person supposed to have. A person who has this mode of goodness qualities, they are potential devotees. So you can explain this and try and get them to explain the secret to devotees. And because you are trying to make people a devotion, and your devotional service will also improve. And you will come back to me, Krishna says, because you are trying to help other people by being devotees. There is no servant more dear than me, than he, nor ever will be more dear if you do this. So, book distribution and helping people be devotees. Teaching about Krishna and making them interested, being kind to them so that they'll become interested. This is what Krishna really wants, because this is the ultimate benefit. If you can be a devotee, is the ultimate benefit for you. You can get people to also become devotional, is ultimate benefit for them. Krishna says this is the highest charity that you can do. So here is written in Chaitanya Charamita that if you are born in the land of India, or actually if you are Indian body, we can put, because you are extension of it, you should make your life successful and work for the benefit of other people by preaching. This is basically, if you can become a devotee and you make them spiritual, also can. If you are born as an Indian and you are born as a Varnashram Dharma or Indian body, it's easier for you to take up Krishna conscious. You should become Krishna conscious and preach to us. Okay? So 70, 71, 72. Who would like to read?
70.
Yeah, read louder a bit. Huh?
70. And I declare that he who studies this sacred conversation of ours worships me by his intelligence. 71. And he who listens with faith and without envy becomes free from sinful reactions and attains to the auspicious planets where the pious dwell. 72. O son of Pritha, O conqueror of wealth, have you heard this with an attentive mind, and are your ignorance and illusions now dispelled?
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna is saying that this is very sacred conversation. And if you study this conversation and you worship me with your intelligence, is very, very nice. And you must listen with faith and without envy. You cannot be envious of Krishna. You cannot say, why Krishna must be God? Why not I be God? So there are some religions that say, everyone is God. I know I'm God, but you haven't come to that level of God. Have you heard this type of religion? Also, Because you are envious. You also want to be God. How can you be God? You can't do anything that Krishna can do. So all these are illusion and nonsense. So don't. Anyone who actually doesn't become follow much devotional service, but he listened with faith and he listened without envy, at least he can go to the heavenly planets where the pious dwell. So basically, if you are a strict, if you listen this, but you don't become a devotee really, you don't go back to the world, but you go to the heavenly planets and you enjoy with them and come back to the material world. And then 72, have you heard with attentive mind? So Bhagavad Gita you should read with attentive mind. And now have you ignorance and illusion gone? After reading, after hearing all this, Krishna is asking. And then Arjuna is now answering. 73. Who would like to read this? Anna?
Shall I read it, sir?
Okay, you can read. No problem.
Okay, sir. Arjuna Uvacha Nashto Mohasmritirlapta Tvat Prasadan Maya Chute Stitosmi Gata Sandeha Karishye Vachanam Tava. Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, O infallible one, my illusion is now gone. I have regained my memory by your mercy. I am your I am now firm and free from doubt and am prepared to act according to your instruction."
So
Thank
if
you.
you reach this level after reading Bhagavad Gita, that means you are very firm faith and you have understood the Bhagavad Gita. And he said, my illusion is gone. I have lost my weakness. I'm now very strong. And I will do according to your instruction. So basically, you should come to this level after reading the Bhagavad Gita. Hopefully, 74, 75, 76. Hannah?
Okay, 74. Sanjaya said, Thus have I heard the conversation of two great souls, Krishna and Arjuna, and so wonderful is that message that my hair is standing on end. 75. By the mercy of Vyasa, I have heard these most confidential talks directly from the master of all mysticism, Krishna, who was speaking personally to Arjuna. 76. O King, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. 77. O King,
76.
I'm 76, I'm done.
Yeah, that's it. Up to that.
Oh, okay, all right.
So, Sanjay is now speaking. Now everything, the Bhagavad Gita has, Krishna has stopped speaking already. Everything is, Arjuna says, I am done. I am ready. Let's go. All the nice messages and nice instructions, I have now become very strong and very spiritual. And I am now ready to face the world under the direction of Krishna. So then Sanjaya said, you know, this conversation between two great souls, Arjuna, Krishna is great soul, Arjuna is also great soul, because he's a perfect devotee. So try to be like him. And so wonderful that he's getting goosebumps by listening to this. So nice it is. So because of the Vyasadev gave him the mercy to see and hear. I have heard this confidential from about this Krishna speaking personally to Arjuna. So then he says that this is a very nice and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. Everything is spiritual in it. I take pleasure being filled in heaven because Sanjaya is a very spiritual person. He takes pleasure in listening to these nice spiritual things which are beneficial for everyone. So who would like to read 77 and 78?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Text 77. O King, as I remembered the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. Text 78. Is it the Sanskrit also?
Yeah.
Sanjaya Uvacha Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha Tatra Sri Vijayo Buddhir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mama. Where there is Krishna, the master of all mystic, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Thank you.
So Krishna 77, Sanjaya is still saying, O King, I remember the wonderful form of Krishna. I am very, very, just, it's just too nice. Something's too wonderful. I'm very struck with awe. And then he says that where there is Krishna and where there's Arjuna, there is the master and there is the Krishna, the Lord, and the Arjuna is the pure devotee. There will definitely be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. This is my opinion. This is what Krishna is saying. Sanjaya is saying that definitely the Pandavas will win the war. And you are because Arjuna is under the shelter of Krishna and he is following Krishna's instruction, he will be victorious. No one can defeat if Krishna is on your side. So this is my opinion, he's saying, but actually this opinion is very correct. So then, surrender unto me. You know the story of Vamana Dev? Have I told you all? Who hasn't heard the Vamana Dev story? Because if you heard, then I don't need to repeat. Can I
You
get?
have told us before it.
So right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So Bhagavatam has many stories like Vamana Dev story. So Shastra Dan is another form. Sometimes you don't have the time to do all this going here and there, but you got some money, so you donate to people who will use the money to maybe give prasadam or maybe teach or maybe help give some. Go and talk to the people who are sick and give some prasadam. So this distribution to hospitals and orphanages. This is orphanage. Sorry. This is orphanage and this is hospitals. So sometimes you can help people who are doing this service. They need some finance. Sometimes you can also do that. Sometimes you can buy some books and maybe give to some people who want the book but they don't have the money. Don't give people who don't want the book and have money. If they have money, try and get them to buy it. Okay, so now they are finished in 21 weeks, 22 weeks, 21 weeks. The Bhagavad Gita. And then the introduction to Srimad Bhagavatam. I have a recording. So I will send you the recording so you all see the recording. Okay? Unless you want the class. But I think it's okay. The recording will be the same thing. So I will send you a recording of today's class. And after 1-2 days, I will send you another recording, introduction to Bhagavad. It's very interesting, and then give me a comments for that. Saket, and please. Okay, now basically Krishna is asking all of you to become devotees. So I hope that you will become devotees. Being devotees is not just reading Bhagavad Gita, it's also putting the Bhagavad Gita into your life. It's also going to the temple regularly to see Krishna, basically to see a Krishna temple, Vishnu temple, and also to come for association with devotees. So find a ISKCON temple preferably, or maybe if you can't have a ISKCON temple nearby, you find a Vaishnava temple and associate with devotees. Because the devotees of Lord Vishnu and Lord Krishna is superior, I'm sorry to tell, but actually because they are in the right form of mind. You want to go back to Vaikuntha if you are worshipping Lord Vishnu, or Goloka Vrindavan, which is higher than Vaikuntha if you're worshipping Krishna. So you try and look for Krishna temple, or some people they are very much more interested in Vaikuntha, so they look for Lord Vishnu's temple. And there the devotees are also devotees of Vishnu, and try and talk about Krishna, try and discuss about Krishna, have association, eat prasad together. You must be more interactive if you want to be a devotee. You see, Krishna says that do whatever, I'm telling you all this, but it's do as you wish. So basically, we can only encourage you, and it's up to you whether you really want to go all the way. And you need guidance. I'm always available, and if you really want the step-by-step guidance, you have to contact me and tell me what should I do next, what shall I do next, and I can give you guidance. I will find out exactly what you are having, what is your situation, and I'll try and see whether you can go into a higher. Okay, anytime you are, I'm in KL, anytime you want to come to ISKCON KL, let me know one day in advance. At least I'll try and meet you there, and also I'll arrange prasad for you. Even if I can't meet you, I can arrange prasad for you. And basically, that is what you're supposed to do now. If you really want to go back to the scripture, it's up to you. No one can force you, and it's up to your level of understanding, up to your level of desire. Any question? Anyway, congratulations.
Prabhuji, the small book that in a Tamil version, where should I get it? Hello?
The Beginner's Guide to Krishna Consciousness.
Yes, sir. Yes.
That one you just let me know. I will. It's only 5 ringgit. And
Okay.
just pay for the postage. So I find.
Okay.
And you just let me know the banking account for the.
Okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, that's actually what you're saying is correct. Beginner's Guide to Krishna Consciousness. They will teach you all the things, how to apply the tila, the mantra to say, what songs to sing. All these are in the Beginner's Guide to Krishna.
Oh, it's not a version of a Bhagavad Gita.
So it is how to behave, how what to learn about. It's not a beginner's guide to Bhagavad Gita. It's a beginner's guide to be a devotee. How to apply tila, how to do all the things. What mantras you should chant when you're offering is all there. How to offer is there. How to do arti, how to become more interactive.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji.
We have in Tamil and we have in English. So either one, if you are interested. That means you want to become A devotee, you should know all this stuff. They are going deeper into how to become a real good devotee. Out externally, but your heart must change also.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Prabhuji, thank you so much that you have teachers from chapter 1 to 18.
Yeah, thank you
I'm
for
very appreciative on it.
attending my class and being a good regular, because there are many who did not complete it, but anyway, you all should try. So I'm very happy also to actually get your association. I hope that you all will succeed in your desire to go back to spiritual.
Oh, okay, Prabhuji. Thank you so much.
I'm giving you a little bit more than what the syllabus is saying. I'm giving all the verses because the syllabus doesn't need me to give you all the verses. There are some they skip, but I prefer to actually go through with you. Okay. Any other question before we close it?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So now we have completed the level 2, right? So are we going to continue with the level 3?
Yeah, there is a level 3. So I will, you let me know. Any of you are interested in level 3, let me know. Then I will let you know when the level 3 starts. Level 3 is not Bhagavad Gita. It is actually practical, how to practice what you learn in Bhagavad Gita. Application of the principles of Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, Prabhu can. So that one is considered a new class, or are we like going to join with another group, or how?
Okay, let's see, because if there are very few, then we'll put you in one lah. Because if too few, then it's no point for one teacher to give to very few people, right? Let us have a combined. So maybe I will do, maybe somebody else will do.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Any other questions? Any other comments? Any of you are happy with the class, not happy with the class?
No. So thank you so much for all the efforts and love you in the way you taught us Bhagavad Gita from level 1, level 2. Personally, we didn't. I think I didn't thank you ever during this session. I feel so grateful to you. Like because of you, we have learned so much about Bhagavad Gita and how to lead our life um, happily.
That's why actually
and
you, that's why
spiritually.
Krishna says that you need a guru. I'm also
Yes,
a guru. I'm not maybe a speaker. I'm not maybe your spiritual master, but at
okay,
least
sir.
there are many gurus who guide you. Anyone who guides you nicely is actually a guru.
Yeah. Yes, sir. As you said, other than the syllabus, you have really went into detail of every verses you have tried to explain and make us understand. So it is very nice of you.
Because
Thank you
if you
so much.
read on your own, you may actually misunderstand a bit what
Yes,
really
sir.
Krishna is trying to say. You know, so that's why you have to tell mature person can explain to you in a mature way. Otherwise, a person who is not mature, you are not mature, you will read, you may not really understand properly.
Yes, sir. Now, when we start reading the Bhagavad Gita from beginning, maybe we can connect all the stories or all the explanations you have given, so we might understand better.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Jayashree. You are very nice also. You are
Thank
very
thank you, sir.
Kalyani also, Raji. Manju.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Much gratitude.
Okay.
You've been guiding me very well.
I'm
Thank you so much.
available. Anytime you need any
Thank you,
help,
Prabhuji.
anything, you just contact me. Okay.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank
Have
you.
your association.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.